So we will get started.
Yes, Praveen, you can start.
Okay, sure. So, hi everyone. Welcome to today's webinar on how do I become a data scientist when I don't have a technical background, right? So that's been one of the major question that many people might have, right? So people say like. I'm not from a technical background. I'm not a engineering graduate. Or we all understand that to learn data science, they need to know coding and they need to have a separate kind of a skill which needs to be learned. And so all those things are pre notions that we have right now. But the fact is, I think it's not the concept that you're having in mind. So there is no need for us to have a technical background to become a data scientist. So let's say, for example, if you're not from a computer science background, I'm from an electronics engineering background. So I'm working as a data scientist. And I have also seen people who are from BCom who have done their MSc in biotechnology, and I have seen mechanical engineers, and I have seen people who have done BA, right? BA and some other non-technical degrees as such. They are also working in data science profession. So you may think like, okay, fine, there are some people who might be working, but how was it relevant to me? I'm not from a technical background as such. How do you say that I can become a data scientist, right? So there are two aspects to that, right? So how you can go ahead and then probably transform yourself into a data science professional is irrespective of you are a college graduate. So let me just probably make a note of these things so that it will be useful for you. So data scientist from a non-technical background, right? So if you are a person who is not from a technical background, how are you going to transform yourself, right? So if you can see, there are three people who come in this category. One is college freshers who are just out of college. The second is professionals who are already working. And the third is people who are trying to make a comeback, right? So they might have taken a break for some reason. So who might want to make a comeback. So for all these three people, let me tell you, the data science roles are abundant and they are increasing every day, right? The scope is increasing, the technology is also increasing. And now when we are talking about how do you can transform. So first thing is, I mean, all of you might fall into this category. You might either be a fresher right out of college, or you are a professional working in some company, but not in DS. And you are a person who has taken a break, who is trying to come back to the industry and then pursue your career. So there are two things which I would like to probably highlight at this point of time. Whenever you're talking about these things, I'll divide this into two parts. So how you can probably plan yourself and then how you can probably go ahead and then transform. So let's say I'll probably make it a little generic. I'll divide it into three pieces. One is a technical aspect of it, and one more is the process, and one more is the behavioral aspect of it. right? So these three things we'll be talking today, so that I'll give you a simple plan how anyone can transform themselves into DS, and then you can probably uh, enter into the domain that you already wanted. So now talking about what are the technical aspects that I need to learn, I'll just make a simple list here for you to get started. What are all the things that you need to learn, right? So when you want to come to data science as such, all of you might have already worked, or you might have started working. So the first thing as a non-technical person, what you can learn is basic Excel. So it might sound a little basic to you, but yes, Excel is very widely used, right? So try using some things like sum, average, min, max, etc. And then probably you can shift into something called as a BI tool. BI tools are very easy to learn. They can be Tableau, they can be Power BI, etc. etc. So these are the things that you can learn. So let me just make a sorry, just give me a second. Yeah. So let me just make a line here so that it will be easy for us to write the things. So this becomes like a block or maybe a guide for you to learn. So you can learn visualization. So it can be a Tableau or it can be a Power BI. So these things you can start with. So these two things are easy to learn. Next, next thing is you should and you have to learn a programming language which can be either R or Python. So let me tell you, Python is easy to learn. So you can probably choose with Python, but uh, R is also there, but it is a little steep learning curve, and majorly people are using Python. Let me tell you something. Use Python from a data science perspective, right? Don't go ahead and then learn it from the development perspective. You need to learn Python from data science perspective. Why I'm saying this is Python is very huge. So if you do want to learn it, there are a lot of programs that are offered by Intellipaat, so you can choose them and then you can probably see which is covering the Python part of it, the exhaustive one, and then you need to learn. And apart from that, the main thing that you need to know is initially to understand the theory behind DS, right? So behind DS as in how does a data science works, right? So what is data cleaning? What is EDA? So those things you need to learn. Just the theory, I'm not talking about implementation. I'll tell you how implementation comes and then how we will be able to do that. So once you understand this theory, what we are supposed to do is you need to learn the basic of machine learning. So basic of machine learning is very simple. And then once you are able to understand this, then you will have a very confident kind of an approach to do this. And one more thing I missed here, one of the major thing that you need to learn is Excel plus SQL. SQL plays a very important role. So for you to get started in data science, if I were to tell you, step number one is Excel plus SQL. Step number two is this. Step number three is you can choose Python or R, anything as per your wish. Here also you can choose Tableau or Power BI, but here both of them are compulsory. So you need to learn both. Then theory behind DS, basics of ML. So these things you can get started. Now, once you have this knowledge, you can go ahead and then learn the advanced things, right? So advanced ML, and then you can learn advanced SQL. You can also learn something related to projects. You can learn, let's say, for example, something related to cloud, etc., etc., etc. The list goes on. So it's a never-ending list. So it keeps on continuing. Now, the main challenge that everyone faces is, you might ask me, yes, I know all these things, I know what to learn, but how do I learn? What is the process that is required? Right? So, whenever you just want to go ahead and then see what is the process that you want to do it, um, some people will say go to the blogs and then go to some kind of a tutorial, or maybe you might probably understand like um, uh, go ahead and then learn something from some written articles and all. But let me tell you something. When you learn from those sources, the problem what happens is, you don't know how authentic they are. The problem is that when you go ahead and then learn from some blog or somewhere, what happens is uh, you're really not sure that what exactly you're trying to learn, right? So just give me a second, let me delete this. I don't know. Yeah. So whenever you're trying to learn things from a blog, what happens is you don't know who has written that blog. So you're really not confident that how can that benefit you, right? So what you're supposed to do is you need to find some place, or probably find uh, authentic source where the courses are created and also delivered by experts. So you need to identify a certain place. And one more thing is, whenever you're trying to identify such place, what it should be offering is, you might also need to get a certificate for your work that you're trying to do. If you're just going ahead and then learning, which is also beneficial, I'm not saying it is not beneficial, but the only thing is, if you do that, you may not be able to know what is the authenticity of what you're learning. Authenticity means whether it is relevant to the industry or not. These days, there is something called as an information overflow. When I say I have an information overflow, I'm saying that lot of information is there out in the world, but you don't know what to choose from. So now what happens is, now the process, this is more important. How do you identify the process? When you want to identify it, so you need to figure out what you want, figure out your need, which means you want to try to create a curriculum kind of a structure which all the courses that we have offer, which is relevant to the industry. So which is making your life little simple. You need to figure out what exactly you need to learn, rather than learning something which is not relevant, and then which will not be of any use, right? Second thing is, whenever you're trying to do whatever we saw here, right? So this complete thing, you have to make a list of skills that you need, right? So just to transform yourself into a professional, what are the list of skills that you need? Sorry, I think my keyboard has some problem, so sorry for that. So let me just write that so for you. So what you're supposed to do is you need to list the skills. So the courses that are offered have a wide variety of skills, so you'll be able to do that. And then whatever you learn needs to be followed by hands-on exercise, right? So whenever you're trying to do something hands-on, which will come to your learning better, right? So unless you have something like a hands-on, it is very difficult for you to learn. Now the courses that offered here, every course has a hands-on exercise so that you're not left out there. You might also have a question that whatever we have worked till now, is it waste? No. Leverage your existing skills, right? So now what happens is, what do I mean by this leverage your existing skills? You might be working in marketing. Marketing is a domain, we will have a knowledge. Marketing analytics is a field of data science. So whenever you're trying to learn analytics or probably marketing, you have your previous domain which is coming to your advantage, which means you're working on marketing analytics. Let's say, for example, you're also working on, let us say, finance domain. So financial analytics comes into picture. You're working on, let us say, banking. So banking is also a domain where your existing skills will be an add-on when you shift to this domain. So this is something that I wanted to talk about the process part of it. Now, the behavioral part of it, there are some three things that you need to keep in mind whenever you're trying to learn this. So these are some important ones. So just make sure whenever you're trying to do, you need to start from scratch, which means whatever you're trying to learn it from the basic, irrespective of how small it is. Start with the basics and then learn from the basics. One more thing which I would like to do is dedication plus efforts. So these two things are very important. Without these two things, irrespective of which background you are from, it is not possible to do anything. So these two things that you need to have, and then you need to have a mentor plus some certifications. So basically, certifications will add to your profile that you have learned something. And a mentor, let us say any institute, like whatever courses are being offered, are built by people who are in the industry, which means indirectly you're getting a mentor. And maybe when you join a course, you can also ask them, will there be any person to solve my course? Or if you join a course, there will be a person who will be an instructor. The instructor can be a mentor, right? So instructor can be a mentor. Certifications from the premium institutes. So these are the behavioral aspects that you need to keep in mind, right? So you need to start from scratch, whatever you are trying to learn. You need to have very good dedication and effort and mentor and certificate. And one more very secret thing that I would like to share you in your behavior is behavioral aspect is you need to have a daily practice, right? So irrespective of you're having a session or you're having a course or probably anything it is, at least for 2 hours to 3 hours every day. So if you are able to do all these things, and if you are able to follow the right courses that have been given with the right content, there won't be any issues for you to transform yourself into a data science domain, right? So these are the only things that are required. So nothing much. The basic thing is you can probably, if you want, you can take a screenshot of this and then probably keep it for your reference, because whatever I'm trying to tell you now is almost covered in the courses that are being offered. So basically, the basic things, whatever you want in data science, which is like Excel, SQL, Tableau, Power BI, R, Python, basics of data science, basics of statistics, basics of machine learning, and also some advanced things are covered in the syllabus. The process, figuring out the need, which means figuring out the syllabus that you need to work. So the syllabus is already being made from the industry experts, and the sessions are also delivered by industry experts. So there is no problem for you to again redo the things, because the process is already being done. There's no need for you to figure out the need in specific. List the skills. So whatever technical things I told you are already part of the syllabus. And then hands-on exercise. So when I say hands-on exercise, everything that you are learning here will have a hands-on exercise which will follow. So that is also covered. And then leverage your existing skills. As I already told, if you are from any other domain, it can be marketing, finance, banking, sales, anything that comes to your domain knowledge. So you are a salesperson who has worked hands on, and you are now learning data science, which means sales analytics will be easy for you because you have worked hands on in the field. Now, coming to the behavioral aspect of it, right? Start from scratch. So this is your personal thing that you need to do. This is for every individual. Technical and process, there will be people to help you. Technical things, resources will be there, you can learn. Process, the process is already defined, it will be given access to you, maybe an instructor led course or maybe a self-paced course, whatever it is. This process also will be given to you, but the behavioral aspect is for every individual, and that is the crucial thing for your success. So if you can see the behavioral aspect, you need to start from scratch in whatever you're trying to learn, irrespective of how basic it is. It can be a plus b, 10 plus 15 is equal to, let's say, 25. So you're trying to write that in Python. Irrespective of how basic it is, start from scratch, right? Only then you'll be able to understand and learn the things. See, this is a separate journey that you're trying to take now. So these things are the key for you. Whatever experience that I have till now, whatever interactions that I've had with people till now, and whatever people I have seen themselves transform, these are the only things that they have done. There is no magic that they have done. They have done only these simple things. And I have told these simple things to many people who are not from an IT background, and successfully they are able to transform themselves. One is starting from scratch, whatever you learn. Second thing is the dedication and the efforts that you need to show, right? So if it's like a Christmas holiday, you can't go ahead and then say, okay, today is Christmas, I will not practice today. Today is Sunday, I will not practice on Sunday. I am tired today, I'll not practice. No, those things will not work. Irrespective of what it is, you have to take every day 2 to 3 hours and then practice. If you're not able to take that 2 to 3 hours, you can get up 2 hours early or sleep 2 hours late. Choice you have to make. If you're not able to give this time, then take it from me. There is no point in you trying. So if you're not able to give time, you will not be able to make it. So let me be frank here. So irrespective of you have the world class resources, you will not be able to make it. So you have to find the dedication. You have to find the 2 to 3 hours time, and then you need to dedicate yourself. Forget everything and learn. Dedicate the 2 to 3 hours every day for your learning. Then you need to have a mentor, probably in an instruction led course, a person who's telling you the teaching you, he can be a mentor, or your learning manager can also help you to get the access, and he can tell you what to learn, when to learn, and all that. And the certifications that are readily available, once you complete the course, you'll get the certifications. So if you follow these steps without any issues, without any deviations, the chances are very, very, very high that you will end up in a data science job, right? So anyone has any questions, you can feel free to ask me. Any questions by anyone? Anyone have any questions right now? If there are any questions, you can ask me. Okay. Any questions? You can either put it in the chat window or probably someone can read it for us. Are there any questions? Okay. So if there are no questions, then what I will do is, like, probably you can take a screenshot of this if you want to keep it for your reference. And then please understand that it is not like a very complex thing. Anything can be learned. So people who are working in a data science profession, they have not done any magic. So they have also started from scratch someday, right? So they have also started to write the first hello world code. They have also first tried to learn the basics of statistics, mean, median, mode someday. So if you're starting today, it is not late, but just take a wise decision. Give yourself time every day to learn and then dedicate yourself for learning. So only when you do that, you'll be able to achieve the things that you really wanted to do, right? So I'm wishing you all the best. If there are any questions, you let me know, or else I hand it over to the learning manager. You can take it forward from here. Yes. So any questions from anyone? Please let me know. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. So hope you found this useful. So if there are any questions, you can probably reach out to the person, the organizer of the webinar. So they'll also be able to address your questions. And I wish you all the best. So just keep this in mind that there is no magic. Everything comes to you only with hard work and dedication, provided you have the right guidance, right set of courses, certificates, and content with you. So just ensure that you take a wise decision, plan it accordingly, and then work towards achieving your goals. So wishing you all success. Have a nice time, and over to the learning manager. Thank you.
Hi guys, this is Charles Christopher. I'm the senior course advisor and a career counselor. So I've been doing this for about 13 years. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you where you can access the complete information about the program on the website. And I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you might have. So while I'm going through, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop your questions. So firstly, even before I begin this presentation, I would want to tell you there is no shortcut, guys. So you will have to invest some time and certain dedication is required in order to expect 100% result. So I do understand, you might have read few articles where you can become a data scientist in 2 or 3 months, which is really nice to hear. But the reality is you will have to put in some effort because your objective is not just to complete the training, but also it has to be very useful if you're planning to upgrade your skill set in order to land a better career or to work in a better way at your current job. So let's begin the presentation here. So here we are on the Intellipaat homepage. So I will directly take you to the program which is the best. So under popular courses, all I'm doing is clicking in this data science and business science. And let's straight away go into the fourth program. So like you see, this is a PG program in data science, which is in collaboration with Delhaven University, which is a very renowned university in the US. So that means you'll be getting a PG certification from Delhaven. So here you go. So this is a sample certificate of PG from Delhaven University. And this is also in collaboration with IBM. You'll also be getting a post-completion certification from IBM as a data scientist. Now, first thing is we do not teach you guys with training. There is a huge difference because unlike colleges or universities, it's not going to be, or example Udemy or other sites out there in the market, it's not going to be lectures or presentations. It's going to be completely a practical learning platform. So you'll be getting trained everything in a practical way through exercises, assignments, and real-time projects. So we are going to not teach you, we are going to train you. So all our instructors are working professionals who are going to help you get trained in a practical manner. So here we go. What role does a data scientist play? So here you see data scientist, analytics and insight analyst, AI and ML engineer, and data engineer and data analyst, junior data scientist and applied scientist. So currently, if you ask me which role is suitable for me, I don't know neither. So I will show you how and where exactly you get to figure out which role is actually best for you. So here we are, skills to master. So this is what actually any industry is looking for, guys. So you should know data science, you should know Python, you should know certain parts of big data, you should know Spark, you should know SQL, you should know, and you should know Excel, you should know SAS, analytical tools, and then you will be very proficient with machine learning and AI. So there are certain steps if you want to become expert in AI and ML without undergoing all these tools, you cannot, or nobody can, to be precise. So these are just a few mentors who are working in senior roles, who are experienced in excelling in the current job role, would be a part of Intellipaat working as a freelancers who will be taking care of your training in a practical manner. So this is the most important part, guys. So the ones which are highlighted, all these are live in. So let's click on data science start. So here you see introduction to data science. So whether you're experienced or whether you're a fresher, whether you have 10 years of experience in other domain, doesn't matter. We are going to train you from the very basic, what is data science? Then data exploration, manipulation, visualization, introducing you to statistics. So it's from the very basic to advanced step by step. So everything is going to be introduced from the very basic. All the courses here will be literally from the very basic step by step. So moving further, projects. So this is the most important part in the training that you are getting practically trained. So remember, guys, every company wants to hire a person who has experience. So they're not asking you for certain years of experience from Amazon or from Microsoft or from Flipkart or Walmart. They don't care where you work or all by yourself as a freelancer. They care about hands-on experience. Now, these are the projects which we have categorized into beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So let's say once you complete the beginner project, which is going to be evaluated, that is when you get to know your strengths and weaknesses. After the evaluation, you get to know what are the areas you're good at, what are the areas you need to focus more on, what are the areas that you're excellent at. So based on that, you can focus on those areas which you're lacking, and then you will be in a very comfortable place to go ahead with intermediate and advanced project step by step. So this particular learning curve is going to take 6 months of your time. So this is the realistic scenario, guys. So this is going to help you and sort your career for life. But for that, you should be having an open mind to invest 6 months of your time, maximum 7 hours of your time in 1 week. 7 hours a week is not a big deal because we have 1.3 million learners. 98% of them are working professionals. When they're able to invest 7 hours of their time in a whole week, there's nothing stopping you. So if you're able to invest that 7 hours a week for 6 months, seventh month, we are dedicating our time to preparing for next week. I'll show you that. So talking about this, we provide you all the lab environment for you to learn, play, and practice. We provide you lifetime technical support assistance whenever you are stuck or whenever you have any queries. My team is working on the clock in order to help you. But this program specifically is for somebody who wants to be very creative. So this is not going to be some sort of monotonous work. Data science itself is very fun to work. So if you want to get a career or if you want to excel in data science, you should be having a creative mind. You need not require anything else because we are teaching you the very basic programming, which is Python. Even nowadays, even college syllabuses have Python. So if you're worried about programming language, don't be, because Python is used to design a website, build an application, or even design games. But you're not doing that. So in data science, you're using Python to solve advanced mathematical algorithms, so which is easy. And Python being an open source, guys, 80% of the task is just done by drag and drop. Only 20% of the task is where coding comes in. So you're not writing lines, 15 to 20 lines of coding like C# or Java. You're writing a basic English command, a maximum a line. That's how easy and convenient Python is. So like I told you, you just need to be having an open mind. And if you like to be creative, data science is for you guys, because it's not going to be some monotonous work where you're monitoring and sitting and taking care of the security or administrating. No, you're playing with database and it's going to be very fun to work. And every industry vertical, whoever has a lot of database to deal with, come on, in this generation, everybody has a lot of database to deal with. Whether it's BFSI, retail, oil and gas, healthcare, hospitality, e-commerce, you name a sector, everybody has a lot of database to deal with. That means you'll be working on the database. So everybody has to use data science. So there are tremendous opportunities out there in the market, no matter which part of the world you're based on. So now you know what is the importance of doing the project, because these projects are also going to go on your resume. And how is any company going to be convinced whatever your resume is legit? They're going to ask you a technical question based on these projects that is on your resume. So you will be in a position to answer any questions because you completed these projects by yourself in the first place. So you exactly know how to connect the dots. You exactly know what question they're asking because you're not reading from a book or watching a video. You're literally practicing these on a tool. So that is the difference between getting trained and learning the technology. So moving further, I have a question here. Okay. Do you teach Python from basic to advanced plus assignment on every module? Yes. So all these courses, guys, will be from basic, like I told you. You see, you can click module 1 introduction. Will be literally introduced to the topic. And everything is going to be a practical learning. To give you an example, let's say Saturday and Sunday is your weekend classes. You chose a weekend batch. So instructor covered module 1, 2, 3 on Saturday and 4, 5 on Sunday. I'm giving an example. So based on these 5 modules, he's going to give you a small quiz and assignment. So between Monday to Friday, whenever you're available for maximum 1 hour, utilize that time in order to complete that assignment, so that you not only understood what it does, you're practicing it from day 1, week 1. So your training in a practical manner starts from week 1. It's not that you're completing the whole training and then you're practicing a assignment. Doesn't make sense. So once you practice assignments on each and every module, and then you take up a data science project, it makes a lot of sense because you know exactly what each and everything does. You exactly know how to explore the data, how to manipulate it, how to visualize it, you know where to use the statistics, everything you know. So everything is crystal clear, guys. We are going to train you from basic to advanced. So that is the reason it takes 6 months of time. I know there are a lot of videos out there. Become a data science engineer in 12 hours video, 15 hours video. That is really great to watch. But the reality is you will have to put in some effort. You will have to invest time. Only then you can expect the result. Because no company is going to hire you based on the knowledge you know. They are going to pay you based on the technical skill set that you are able to accomplish on a computer. Right? So my point being, there is no shortcut, guys. You have to invest time. The result is 100. So moving further, so this is peer learning. So this is a platform where you can interact with your peers who are taking classes with you from India, US, Canada, Europe, Middle East, throughout the globe. So these courses are taken throughout the globe, guys. So you can interact with them, exchange ideas, and learn and build a relationship with your peers and interact and learn to your peers as well using this platform. So moving further, career services by Intellipaat. So out of 150 plus courses we offer, only 10 to 15 programs we are guaranteeing the interview because the required time is 6 to 7 months because this is the best content which is in collaboration with Bellhaven and you get a PG certificate because we do not teach you, we train you. So that is the reason it is a give and take policy. You're committing 6 months of your time. You're putting in that 7 hours of a week of effort. That is the reason we are able to deliver the result by guaranteeing the interview. All you need to have is a work permit, even if you're based out of US or Canada, don't worry. Unless you have a work permit, we schedule the interview for you in whichever city you're based on. And before the interview is scheduled, 1 whole month we are doing this. So we are preparing you for the interview even before you attend the interview. So 80% of the technical questions you are thoroughly prepared even before you attend. So our objective is to make sure you're thoroughly prepared even before you attend. And we build your resume and LinkedIn profile, guys. So you building your resume by yourself and my marketing team building the resume is totally different thing. So we have a backend team who is specialized in building resumes. They're going to mention all the certifications that you have on your resume, the IBM and the Bellhaven, and the project and the skill set. So your resume is going to look very excellent, and any company would want to call you for. So we are going to take care of that as well. So any questions so far? Please feel free. Okay. I have researched that statistics have a huge role to play in data science as a non-tech and a non-math candidate who doesn't have an idea of stats. Will it be covered from basic? Yeah, that's a good question. Here you go. Introduction to statistics. So you'll be literally introduced to the topic from the basic. So wherever you see introduction, that means you'll be learning what is statistics from that basic. So don't worry, even though you're a fresher or an experienced, doesn't matter. Even though let's say you have 10 years of experience, but you're working in a different IT role, maybe a networking manager, or let's say you're a finance manager or account manager, or you're an administrator. So whatever IT or non-IT doesn't matter, you are a beginner to this particular technology. Excuse me. So you'll be literally introduced to the topic from the basic to advanced step by step. So on a scale of 1 to 10, if your basic mathematics is 5 and above, that is more than sufficient. So in reality, it has to do with creativity. So once you learn this particular program, so if you're creative, sky is the limit, guys. So if you want to do something which is monotonous, this is not for you. So having said that, let's continue the session. So if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. So now you know about the job role, how it's done, and how do we prepare you for the interview, and we schedule the interview for you guys. So moving further, the program. So the reason why Intellipaat is giving the program at a very cheap price. You can do your due diligence, guys. You can do your research. No company with any US university affiliated or even Indian university affiliated is giving the program nothing less than $3,500 or 1,75,000 rupees plus GST. The only reason we are doing it is only because of COVID subsidy from the Indian government, which won't be available after this month. Because of the price being so cheap, we closed down the registrations 3 weeks ago itself. But a couple of customers wants to move their batch to April because of some current project requirement. So we have 2 slots which we have decided to give on a priority basis. So the priority will be given to these people who are attending the webinar today. So this is purely on a first come first serve basis. We do not convince you. We do not force any customers. So you know how serious your career is. If you're willing to invest that 6 to 7 months of time, you can expect the result 100% landing a career. So whatever the investment that you'll be making is less than 10 days of your salary. This is something that I can assure you. So you will also be getting a further discount. So to know more about the discount, you can always drop me a message. I am working as an advisor and a career counselor. So I'll drop you my information here, guys. So if you need a professional to talk to which direction you should be heading your career towards, kindly WhatsApp me directly on my Indian number or my US number. So please WhatsApp me. Let's have a discussion. So I'll be more than happy to head you towards the right direction, guys. So you can either WhatsApp me or you can drop me an email. So whichever suits you best. So my email ID is charles.christopher dot CHRISTO. Yeah, here we go. So WhatsApp me on my India number or WhatsApp me on my US number or drop me an email. Let's discuss about your career and then you get to decide what's the best for you. So I have a question. Does this 6 month course include internship, DSOs, requires experience? So not internship really, but these projects are equivalent to 2 years of experience. Like I told you, no company is going to ask you experience from certain companies. They're going to ask you for hands-on experience. So during the interview, you're not faking your resume, you're not lying to them. You can definitely tell them that you worked on these projects as a freelancer. How are they going to believe you is they're going to ask you technical questions based on these projects that you're claiming that you know have worked on. So you can definitely answer those questions because you actually worked on these projects by yourself. So that is the reality, guys. So everything is literally in a practical manner, no matter which program you choose with Intellipaat. So this would be my number. So only last 2 slots available for this particular program, and you also get a discount. So to know the discount, which is on a priority basis, directly WhatsApp me or drop me an email. I'll be more than happy to let you know the final price, and you can get started either this month or New Year. The only difference is why do you have to pay $3,500 or 1,75,000 plus GST? Doesn't make sense. It's up to you. So if you think you're you want to head the career towards something very interesting and fun at the same time, which is very hot in the market, which literally exceeds your expectation in terms of earning money, this is the right technology, guys. So I hope today's presentation and webinar was useful and informative. So you know how to reach out to me. I'll be looking forward for your messages or email. Thank you so much for your time and have a great evening ahead. Bye-bye.